It is day one of the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial, and jurors have already seen that graphic 2016 hotel assault surveillance video that showed Combs attacking his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
And on the stand right now, a man who testified that he used to manage a male review show and received money to have sex with Cassie Ventura. Back with us is defense and trial attorney Misty Marris. And Misty, this is going to be one of the most salacious, high-profile cases I think that we've ever seen. And already the prosecution is going there and being descriptive about the kind of behaviors that Combs used to partake in. Of course, the defense says that this is just part of a consensual lifestyle and that you can't blame somebody for their proclivities. I wonder how you see the prosecution taking that and making it into a case where they convince the jury that this was more than just someone's personal proclivities.
Yeah, and that's why we see so many of these witnesses coming right out the gate, to your point, with so much detail in the encounters that they had with Combs. So as of now, we've just scratched the surface. These are the first few witnesses. We know the former security guard, the first witness to testify. That video is going to be so central to this case. And now the Daniel Phillip is on the stand, who formerly owned a male review and had an encounter back in 2012, and that's what he's describing on the stand as of now in Gramercy Park. He was called and money was exchanged to engage in sexual activity with Cassie while Diddy was in the room watching. That's the scene that's being set on the stand. Now, what we'll hear from the defense is on cross-examination about whether or not this was a consensual encounter, because that is the cornerstone of the defense argument, that the government does not belong in people's bedrooms. And even if there are things that seem to be salacious or seem to be seedy, that does not make them illegal. So what the prosecution is trying to do, and they have to show that this is on a grander scale. There's a lack of consent. Individuals are forced into this activity. And what they're doing is really setting that stage to understand what is the scheme, what is the force, what is the coercion. And that's why we see these witnesses right out the gate before their most important witness, Cassie Ventura, takes the stand.
And specifically highlighting that he received money from Cassie Ventura, which will be an interesting fact for, I think, the prosecution maybe to reckon with. We'll see as the defense is trying to say that she was consenting in this. We do expect to hear from her at some point. I do want to note, this says our latest update from our correspondents there in the courtroom, that Daniel Phillip testified he thought he was just going to this hotel to do a little striptease. He thought it was a bachelorette party, he previously said. But when he arrived at the hotel around midnight, Cassie Ventura was the only one in the doorway. I do wonder, Misty, what you think is going to be the linchpin. We know there's the video, obviously, and that's so impactful for a jury to see. What is the linchpin, or is there one, for the prosecution as they are saying, no, this is just not, this isn't consensual, this is a coercion, knowing that we expect another woman to testify to something similar?
Yeah, so the prosecution is looking to show that this is a criminal enterprise, basically criminal activity at the behest of Combs over the past 20 years. Because remember, that's part of the case, is a RICO case, meaning there's a criminal enterprise and individuals are part of a conspiracy committing crimes in furtherance of the criminal enterprise, which in this case is Combs's sexual gratification. And so what we're seeing is building up this narrative by the prosecution that Combs has money, power, control. He used blackmail, he uses violence in order to get people to comply. And the prosecutor's challenge is to show that this is a widespread scheme, as opposed to, like we're hearing with this witness, what the defense says is consensual conduct between adults engaging in sexual activity that some may find to be strange but isn't illegal. So what's really going to matter for the prosecution, and I thought this was interesting in opening statements, we know about the Cassie video, right? This is the video everyone's seen. But there's a lot more video. Remember, there's 120 devices that were seized. Allegedly, according to what we saw in pretrial motions, we're going to see video, at least the jurors are, of some of these freak-offs. Now, the defense said there's contemporaneous text messages that tend to show there was consent. The jury is going to see that with their own eyes. So to me, seeing those videos and the prosecution providing context for what's going on is going to be critical to say that these were not consensual and there was force, fraud, or coercion involved. And right now we're really setting the stage. And my understanding is Daniel Phillip, pre-trial, he is depicted in some of the videos, and that's why you see him on the stand as the second witness. So we'll see when that comes out in the testimony.
All right, yeah, we'll be looking for that. Misty Marris, thank you so much.